Links aqui novamente. Seguinte, pessoal, a gente vai estar vendo a continuação agora, tá? Que é Bumi versus Kaina e a gente vai ver essa partida. Esse set maravilhoso, tá? Bora lá, bora lá. Kaina de Lucien também, inclusive, né? Fiend tava de Lucien. Se você não viu a partida do Bumi versus o Lucien, você não vai entender porque a gente tá reagindo a esse vídeo, tá? Mas eu recomendo fortemente você ver. Aí você vai ficar puto da vida. Aí você vem ver esse vídeo pra ver o desfecho da história, tá?
Bumi standing strong on the Diana and kind of getting obliterated by Kaina on the guitars at the moment. Finally stops that damage to the downline side air. Kaina side sticks the wrong way and Bumi tries to go for a dodge and read on that side stick and gets hit for it.
Yeah, I mean, if there's any hope for a lot of people for South America, of course, you got Kaina, who sports an undefeated win during Springs. That was one of the most dominant ones we...
GG, tranquilo. O Lucien é um personagem super interessante, não é? Essa não foi a primeira vez que ele entrou no meta, tá, pessoal? Há muito tempo teve o LDZ, que ele ganhou 2 mundiais seguidos. Ele jogava de Lucien também. Ele jogou de Kunai, Lucien, Code, né? Mas um dos personagens que ele trazia era Lucien também. E é um personagem de 3 de defesa, né? 3 de defesa não, 3 de dano. Super interessante a gente tá vendo isso.
Relentless against Bumi here.
Yeah, you know, he tried that trick a ton yesterday and it did work against Fiend and kind of said, that's not going to work against me, bro. That's not how this is going to go down. Bumi is having a very difficult time playing Brawlhalla, period. Even though this Diana has been phenomenal so far, it has been barely existent in this game.
Nossa, ia vir um reverse dera ali, mano, do Kaina, mas o Bumi deu Nair.
Collecting himself as he comes back to the stage, realizing that he is a hit away from having a full stock lead over Bumi here. But Bumi can make it happen. He gets so many of those silent
Nice.
No, wow. D-Light, neutral signature, even unarmed Kaina is so good.
He uses that very often too. It's like, this isn't like just a one-time deal we're seeing here. He goes for that pretty often and kinda is just, once again, he's dominating. He has a huge lead, trying to go for a D-Light into ground, trying to get an early sneak there, maybe against him, but kinda smartly not drifting away.
Oh, and Kaina catching every one of these landings here on Demon Island. Bumi can't get back to the ground. The guitars are completely just decimating him. Silent him through the Nair, double Nair. Bumi can get the recovery, and that recovery off the top means Kaina's got a nice juggle situation here. Bumi was trying to bring it back there, and then down to come.
Ih, vai fazer down C, vai?
Demon Island, you have to watch out for that D6.
Você tem que ter assistido o vídeo anterior pra entender.
Looking for maybe a recovery, but instead he's just letting Bumi rock, and that is gonna be a closeout. What a dominant first start off this set.
Away, that's like a classic, like in a second that his opponent locks in, Bumi's like, okay, I'm locking in, spamming that.
Por que não tá rindo agora? Não tô entendendo.
He solved that because the tricks of playing on Demon
Bora
Island.
lá, stance de dano e stance de velocidade pra tirar Dex, né? Dex. Vocês estão ligados que não é um status muito interessante, né?
Knockout in orange and also just be.
Nossa, o mapa, véi. Faz tanto tempo que eu não vejo gameplay de campeonato nesse mapa. Oh, louco, mano!
Kaina's not even gonna let me talk about it. D-Light comes.
Uma coisa, vocês preferem o react com webcam ou sem webcam? Deixa aí nos comentários pra eu saber, tá bom? Obrigado.
D-Light and he dodges out of the way of the recovery. The
Nossa
recovery almost
senhora.
catches it, Kaina barely dodges through. That would have been a stock for sure.
That would have been such a good steal on Bumi to get that, but instead Bumi is going to suffer potentially this first stock. He avoids the recovery, so he's going to sneak back on with that Nair. He's got a lot of work to do.
Yeah, has the bow now, gets hit with the side light, dodges all the way around to the side of the stage. Nice punish on the neutral signature, doesn't get the second end light, and the down six are coming through here. We're seeing that strategy coming out from yesterday. Nice neutral light goes to the ground pound and kind of jumps right around it, but that was close.
Yeah, he's seeing through a lot of what Bumi wants, but Bumi's starting to get his straight hits in. It seems like the ball is to play here, but D-Light into Nair, and he's trying to chase him again, minimizing a ton of damage. Weapon toss down actually helps him get back down to the ground as well.
Let's see if Bumi goes for those down light neutral signatures, goes for a raw side signature on the fast fall there, kind of jumps over it, hits him with the series, damage enough to be sent flying, but that was almost a 0 to knockout there at the very beginning, and Bumi came back in really good fashion.
Yeah, this is a very different tone shift from what could have been the start of this game, because Kaina was looking to speedrun that first knock away. That will...
Mano, o Kaina, dá pra ver uma grande diferença, né? Da Catar do Fiend pra Catar do Kaina. A Catar do Fiend é muito grounded. Ele leva muito o oponente pro chão pra fazer conexão. O Kaina já é um pouco mais flexível.
With a ton of the landings, but no, Bumi manages to make them work. He's getting a lot of these really close stacked down lights, and then doing a neutral light or a Nair afterwards to get extra damage. He goes.
Nossa, esse punish!
About that, Kaina is wary of all the tricks that Diana players like to have, except that one. Down to come through.
Pensa numa Sig quebrada. Nice!
Actually saves Kaina with that edge guard.
Yeah, Boomy kind of committed to that ground pound and kind of seeing full through it. D-Light Stairs going to now give him stage control. And Boomy has to be very careful about avoiding getting hit by a jump stair read and kind of just dashing back and forth. D-Light Stair will be the trick.
Yeah, doesn't have to go for the recovery there. Boomy damaged enough. And Boomy taking a minute to collect himself there, being like, okay, this isn't the same situation as before, but I can still put on some pressure. Goes in unarmed, hits one side light, but gets hit by the down light. D-Light recovery, double recovery. Boomy almost takes him off the top. That would have been huge, but the exhausted recovery was not enough.
He has brought it all the way back, trying to catch him again at the ledge.
Gente, é porque assim... Ué, mas Slink, você já não viu essa partida? Eu vi não sei quantos anos que eu vi, tá ligado? Eu não lembro de nada. Eu só lembro do fator principal, tá ligado? De uma coisa. Mas da partida em si, do que acontece aqui e ali, eu não lembro.
Gets punished by one neutral there. Both players on the blasters here. D-Light, side light, goes to the Nair, maximizing the damage there as much as he can. And the Dare, tries to go for a jump read there with that neutral there. That could have led to 2, maybe 3 more
Nossa,
Nair.
nice downlight, velho.
Now has orange damage on him.
I will say, even with that orange damage, I'm noticing an energy shift here. It feels like Boomy's way more confident about his opener. He's going to get the satellite pushing in, kind of, however, gets him back off stage. Looking for one of those neutral lights, and he's spacing around it well, but he finally gets him on a whiff with that sider, and he's still keeping him stuck at the corner.
Yeah, no punish from Boomy on that whip downlight either. Sidelight comes through, Sider misses, but that's going to be the D-Light recovery.
Mano, ele domina muito, velho, de Blaster.
Boomy out at 7.
Ai, será que eu troco de Legend? Aí o que eu faço?
That was a great finish there. The damage taken
Let's go.
nearly doubled that time around, but Boomy still has to get the dub to stay in the set.
Yeah.
Galera, aqui tá dando umas quedas de frame, eu espero que não incomode vocês, tá?
With the fact that he didn't get that 0 to knockout we were looking for at the very beginning, he still is pressuring Boomy better than pretty much I've seen anybody do all weekend.
All right, and now Boomy falling with the Sider, goes to the ground pound as well. I still think you're right. I think that despite that game 2 being so heavily in Kaina's favor, the momentum switch, literally how Boomy is moving and how he's playing, has adapted quite a bit. Now let's just see if that's still enough to fight against a Titan like Kaina, because Kaina is so fantastic. We saw from that run at BCX, and we're seeing it here in this run in San Diego. That D-Light recovery is going to be Boomy going down to 2 stocks, and Kaina is a hit away from going down, but how much extra damage he's going to get? He's so good at these guitars against Boomy's unarmed, and Boomy likes to go in unarmed.
Yeah, one common theme so far, Taza, is that Kaina
O spot dodge. Porque,
changing away from that. Even with Boomy getting way better as the matches progress, he's still getting hit a ton. He does finally avoid one of the dares, but he just keeps going.
Meu Deus!
Like that, Boomy from white to orange against the guitar. Sider hits, forces the dodge with the weapon throw, but Kaina with 2 good dodge reads. Could get a D-Light recovery here. The gravity cancel D-Light, and Boomy puts it off stage. Might be down to 1 stock at this rate.
Right there too, jumping back on stage because he knew he would think the ground pound. He tried to catch him with that neutral light. Boomy does get back on, but for how long? One D-Light recovery. It's dead.
Acontece, tá, gente? Downlight recovery de Blaster é um comando seguido bem chato de fazer. Aí quando o cara erra, sai side sig mesmo.
Those signatures there, and because
Quer dizer, normalmente, né? Existe a possibilidade de o cara segurar muito pra baixo e fazer a down sig, mas eu acho que é menos comum. O mais comum é side sig.
stock here to get this 3-0.
See if he can finish the job with a 3-0 here, potentially knocking out Boomy, who has
Nossa.
been a prop for South America so far, and trying to keep that bracket run alive. But Boomy does finally get one on the board. He's going to have access to the bow. It seems like the bow is the better play. He's kind of been losing out a little bit on the Blaster Ditto.
Yeah, Silent comes through, but it gets hit by a Sider there, and every hit Boomy gets, every time he takes one in return, it's so much worse. But the ground pound hits. Dare,
Nossa.
that was the right read.
Essa conexão de arco é muito forte.
Kind of touches the wall.
Boomy was looking for the big play. If he got that dare, we might be talking about a different game. He's going to get sent back off for recovery. One more good recovery read. One D-Light recovery here now from the Blasters. And that ends the game.
Isso que ele fez com o Fiend. Lembra que eu falei do teabagging do Brawlhalla? Olha isso, mano. Olha isso. Ah, tadinho, mano.
Oh, victory for...
Vamos ver de novo, vai.
He's going to get sent back off for recovery. One more good recovery read. One D-Light recovery here now from the Blasters. And that ends the game.
They kind of having a throwback.
Olha o Kaina.
Smiling about it too. Look at them both looking at each other in the cameras. The message has been sent, and Kaina...
A vingança foi feita, mano. Veio, ó, rapidinho. Enfim, me deixem sugestões aí de sets que vocês já viram que foi interessante que eu possa trazer aqui no canal também, tá? Um grande beijo e apareça nas lives lá no Profilinks, beleza? E segue a gente no TikTok. Links Wagner Brawlhalla, uau!